Good morning. I just had a look at the time, and it seems that we are a little bit ahead of schedule. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to talk about a little bit about certifications in regards to actually professional certifications. First of all, I would like to see with everyone here in the room, please raise your hands. Who has a professional certification? Okay, 1, 2, 3. So that's the minority. Okay. All right, that's good. So hopefully then for the rest of the audience, it will be some new stuff to see why it's actually important or interesting to go for certification. I'm still trying. Hello. Okay. So yeah, the general question is about why to go for a professional certification. There are multiple reasons for that. Apart from that you are working on the job, that you are being experienced over time, that you're exposed to different technologies. It's also coming up the question about how you might actually compare towards others in regards to how you do your job, how you get your work done, how you are, which kind of quality that you are offering, and maybe also to see in order to perhaps if you're missing out something. But first of all, it's a situation that it's about yourself, your personal growth. Because going forward with a certification is actually a situation that it helps you to advance in your career. I mean, you're the job, you know, okay, your employer or even your future employer has certain levels like junior developer 1, junior developer 2, software engineer 2, senior developer, etc., that you get out of this. In regards to a certification, you can actually up the game for yourself in regards that not only it helps to boost your confidence, because it's also out of the survey from Pearson VUE, which is one of the worldwide test centers, is that almost 65% of people actually got positive feedback out of their reputation or on their image. It gives them a better stance on their activities. The next thing as well, in the field of IT, I hope that who is actually not working in IT here in the audience? Please raise your hand. Who is not working in IT? Ooh, okay, my background is IT, so I took this as a reference. Another actually a report from IDC conducted by or requested by Microsoft back in 2017 had the situation that by 2021 38% of IT positions will be cloud related, and so therefore going forward with cloud knowledge, whether it is in Microsoft Azure or whether it is regarding AWS, helps you to secure your job. On the other side, if you're already employed, by going forward with a certification that is actually about that you show your skills, that you prove your knowledge, that you have a confirmed record about what you're doing, is also going to help you to get in negotiations with your employer that you can go for an increased salary, that you can ask for a raise, and it also helps on your performance report over the year. According to Pearson VUE again, around 23% of the interviewed people said actually that within a few months of time they got an increase on their salary by about 20%. So I mean that's not too bad about having a 1/5 more in the pocket. But the main aspect where I see that a certification comes into play is actually that it is a global. It's based on a global standard. Let's say if you go for a certification by Google, it doesn't matter whether you're here in Mauritius, whether in the USA, whether you are in Malaysia. anyone that goes for the same certification gets the same type of questions and gets the same type of results. So it's normalized or on a global scale. The other good thing is also that you're not dependent on the institution, because learning material is available online. There are online courses, there are also classroom courses, but in the end, everything is just standardized. And to summarize then out of this is that, as I said, we have the personal growth aspect, we have the salary negotiations, we have the better positioning on the job market, because clearly if you go for a position, if you go that you want to go for a new employer and you can show them, hey, I have certifications in Cisco, networking, routing, etc., they will take you in because they already know, okay, this is the knowledge that we can expect from this person. And after all, global standards is also a situation that here in Mauritius, a lot of people actually considering about immigrating to other countries like Canada or Australia. And if you add professional certificates to your records, to your resume, they are recognized. There is no discussion whether, for example, if you then say, okay, you are the University of Mauritius, how is my degree actually, positioned compared to another institution in the country of destination? But with professional certificates, you know wherever you are. Okay, how to get to your certification? I'm trying, with the next few slides, I'm trying to give you a little bit of an overview about what are the possibilities, what to expect, and where to go from there. One of the first aspects that you should consider is the type of examination. Okay. So literally you have three options about how you can go forward with your exam taking. Option number one, which is, to my opinion, the most commonly used one, is about test centers. Pearson VUE is one of the authorized institutions for offering tests, and here in Mauritius you get Pearson VUE authorized test centers literally all over the island. I didn't make a count, but I would say there are at least 25 plus test centers, and I've been to at least 5 in the region of Catabon and Eben. On the other side, if you're, let's say, if you need more flexibility, you can consider to go for an online proctored test taking, which is getting more and more common, which actually you can do at home, which is pretty nice, but it comes with risk, because you need to have the webcam, then you have a permanent monitoring over your webcam and microphone, and you need to show your environment. So, and the other part is also, you cannot have any kind of disturbance. So if your life partner, if your child or whatsoever, if somebody is coming into the room, you failed. And for the exams itself, there are generally 2 types. Most commonly is about multiple choice. So there's no question that you need to give a written answer or free text or writing an essay, at least in the tech scene. It might be different in project management or in financial certifications, but based on my experience, it's mainly about multiple choice. The other type of exams that are coming up recently is about task-based, which is actually very common in the Linux field. Let me just get back to that. For example, if you go for certification as a Linux system engineer, it might be the situation that your exam clearly tells you, okay, set up infrastructure or service ABC within a time, give it that an extension and such a feature, and here you have 20 minutes time. And so therefore you need to actually perform the task on a virtual environment and see that you will be then rated on the outcome of your activities. But again, there's pros and cons on both sides. And based on knowledge, I think the task-based approach might be the better one, because literally it is reproducing your daily work style. Because you might already have the situation that you are responsible for certain systems, and then just doing it during an exam would just confirm what you're doing. Okay, how to get there? Certifications most of them are not for free. And you should also take this into consideration that you are actually doing an investment into your career. It is not that you have an expense about purchasing the exam. Yeah, see it literally like an upfront payment. Say, okay, I pay my exam. Maybe even your employer might step up and say, hey, we would like to push you and we pay an exam for you. Maybe you sort it out or you check it out. The interesting part is also that the fees for an exam are very wide-ranged. Some of them are, like for Google, you pay $125. On the other side, I think project management, there might be even ranges where you pay up to $500 or even $1,000 to go for a certification. Oops. Let's keep it here. The other thing is also when you go and normally then you would purchase a voucher or some kind of an access code to schedule your exam, take care that you are choosing the right country. Because quite frankly, for the Microsoft examinations, it's a situation that for Mauritius, you pay half the price than if you would be in Europe or in North America, which is clearly also a big advantage for other nations in Africa. The other thing as well, you might have a look whether there are special offers in regards to bundles. Usually you might get a situation that you can say, okay, you buy a set of exams, you might get the situation that you can buy it together with an exam, with a practice test. And last but not least, especially for the students among here in the audience, you can register for an academic access and you might get then actually discount codes. And it ranges 50% and plus where you get a cut-off from the price of the certification. All right, how to move forward then? First of all, you should have experience because quite frankly, I see certification as a confirmation of your knowledge. It is not that you say that you decide, okay, I need to go for this certification and I'm just studying based on papers and then see what is the outcome. To my experience, this is not a long-term success because quite frankly, after 2 weeks after the certification, you might totally forgot about what you learned about for the certification because you're just focusing about passing the exam and not taking into consideration about what is interesting regarding your work environment. Then you would probably go ahead and say, okay, set yourself a goal, like I take my exam in the next 45 days or in the next 2 months, fix it. Also, as a recommendation, block learning units in your calendar. Make an appointment with yourself, like, okay, 1 hour, Thursday evening, I learn for my exam. I check my records about what I have, which is about the preparation phase, also all of the certificates that I had a look, or exams that I had a look so far, they always have an overview about this is what is going to be tested, this is what is going to be expected, this is what you're going to have to learn for and take care about. And then last but not least, if you go for a test center or even at home, be in time, actually about half an hour earlier, make yourself comfortable, have a chit chat and see what's going on. Now you're seeing a score report, which is actually a typical scenario that you would get as a feedback out of a Microsoft examination. It doesn't matter whether you passed or failed, you will get your score report. And I'm not sure, but I think this one might be a just failed score report. And the interesting thing is that out of this feedback, in case that you did not pass, you get clearly indicator about why you did not pass and in which areas you did not pass. So therefore, in case that there is the problem or the situation that you might have to retake it, take this as an indicator, concentrate in those fields and practice more in those areas. And yeah, as I said, there are retaking options. For some of the vendors, you might have to look. For example, Google is a situation, if you pay for your exam, they already give you the information about, okay, you have, I think, in total 3 attempts in order to pass. It's already the situation that they say, okay, if you failed the first time, you need to wait a week. If you fail the second time, you need to wait at least a month because they tell you, hey, please use the time to fill up your gaps and come then with more knowledge to actually then have the chance that you really pass it and not that you fail again because of laziness or because you did not focus on the topics. And of course, as mentioned, there are also voucher bundles that you might say, okay, you get a set of 2 free exams at a discounted price that you can go forward at. How to prepare? Learning resources. Option number 1, that's my personal favorite, like we are sitting here together or being here together, is about check it out with your local communities. Here in Mauritius, we started it some years back. They are now very good, striving communities. There's, for example, topics regarding blockchain, which is interesting in the financial sector. I know that we have a fellow here that is in the project management sector. I know they're meeting regularly, especially then about the IT communities. There are several. Take your time, find out a meeting, go there, and exchange with people, ask them for their knowledge. It's very helpful. The other thing is, see whether you can get a mentor, either on the job or online. They can also assist. Maybe you already find somebody that took the certain certification that can give you advice about, okay, listen, you need to focus on that area, you need to concentrate on that. So it will help you to be more successful on the first attempt. Additional to that, the usual how would you say, the usual suspects are the online resources. Of course, you can also might have a chance in the bookstore that you get some material, whereas with books is the problem, they might be outdated. So recommendation is about going for any kind of online platforms. There's edX, there is the MITx, there is Microsoft advertising for that. There are Google Code Labs, and there are other infrastructures like Pluralsight, Udacity, where you might have actually free access for a limited time, or even then paid access. And last but not least, be around in events. Yeah, take the opportunity to network. Take the opportunity also then to have a word with the speaker after the talk or something like that, and see what is your opinion about that. Yes, how to stay focused, how to stay motivated for your certification. I mean, we're all busy, we're on the job, we have family, some of us, we have children, and there's always a huge level of distraction. How can you keep yourself motivated and focused on that? Well, the easiest way, or I think what worked for me as a very good way, is make it a challenge. Yeah, in terms of like 30 days challenge, or 60 days challenge, or maybe in case of some of the projects that I started, is about considering 100 days of exam. So the idea behind this project is actually you take roughly 3 months plus, so literally a trimester, to focus on specific content, to focus on specific topics that you are then trying to work on, to learn, to expose yourself with for at least 1 hour per day. And the key element in this challenge here is that you actually log or report your daily progress with a tweet, or you put it into a notebook, yeah? But make yourself exposed to the public. Use a hashtag, and see whether there are people then giving you feedback and encouragement. There are other hashtags that are working like this, and then out of this, over time, you will see it's about practicing. If you do it really on a daily basis, it's like going to the gym. Yeah, instead of training your muscles, you are training your brain and your skills to go forward with that. And then, after those 100 days, maybe even earlier, you might be the proud owner of a certification. Yeah, whether it's in the IT field, whether it's in project management, whether it's in the financial sector, it's completely up to you. The challenge itself is totally neutral. It's mainly about the aspect about doing it. And with this, I like to summarize the importance of certifications. That is that you confirm what you already know. Don't just do it because of the papers. Oops, let's go back. it's for your personal growth. Because quite frankly, if you get the notification from the test center, you get the email that says, hey, congratulations, you passed, that's a big clap on your own shoulder, because you can say, yes, I did it. Yeah? So this is going to help you. It gives you confidence on the job, on your studies, and even as a student. Already look into the possibilities that when you have an assignment that says, okay, get exposed with a certain technology, like with Google or whatever, have a look if there's a possibility to get examination, because you're already deep diving into the topic. Why not leveraging it and say, okay, I'm rewarding myself with an exam that I passed. And of course, again, as I said, those certificates are globally equal. You can use them for your visa applications if you want to go and work abroad and things like that. So yeah, I think we are good. 20 minutes. Oh, I think we are fine. Still ahead of schedule. Please, if you have any kind of questions, now is the time. But of course, you can get in touch with me at any time later as well. Just to give you feedback about my personal experience. Starting in August last year, so August till now is roughly 10 months, I actually went forward with sitting for 8 IT exams that are totally on Microsoft Azure, based on my knowledge that I gained over the last 2.5, 3 years. And out of this, I only failed one, which is, I would say, yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of myself with that. And I hope that you guys, that you go forward with this kind of approach, that you can actually say, okay, I set myself a target, I want to achieve that, and then within, let's say, half a year, maybe a year, you can look back and say, yes, I did it. And with that, thank you very much for your time. I hope you had a good time. Any questions? No? Yes. Good question. How did I manage to prepare myself? Yeah, that's the question. As I said, you have your calendar. You might have a business meeting with somebody. You might have at a certain time that you go to the gym during the week. You might have courses on weekdays. You might have other sports activities, or you want to go to the cinema in the evening. Just schedule it in your calendar. Block a certain time. This is your exam preparation time. Yeah, just 1 hour. And then stick to it. It is really like, this is your time. It depends on if you're busy during the day, you might say, okay, instead of watching TV or series on Netflix, block 1 hour in the evening and say, okay, I'm spending that 1 hour focused on a certain aspect that is part of the exam guide or the preparation guide. Stick to it. It is complicated, or it is not easy at the beginning, but over the time, that's why I'm saying 100 days of exam, you will get the hang on, you will get the drive, and you will improve. And at the end of this 1 hour, tweet about it. Make yourself accountable. Say, hey, listen world, I learned 1 hour and I was exposing myself to whatever, virtual private networks or something like that. Yeah? Another question? All right. Thank you very much again.